You think you miss them, but if you sit in silence long enough, you'll realize something deeper. It's not really their voice that echoes in your mind, it's the way you used to feel when you were around them. The comfort, the ease, the version of you that didn't overthink everything. You miss laughing without a reason, smiling without forcing it, and being soft without fear of getting hurt. Back then, you were different. You were lighter, more open, and you didn't carry this heaviness in your chest. You trusted easily, loved freely, and you didn't question your worth every second. There was a kind of innocence in you, a calm energy that made everything feel simple and real. But life happened. Things were said that changed you. Moments came that broke something inside you. And slowly, without even realizing it, you started becoming someone else. Not because you wanted to, but because you had to protect yourself. Now when you look back, it feels like you're missing them, but in reality, you're missing the version of yourself that existed in that time, the version of you that felt whole, safe, and alive. And the hardest part is, you don't even know how to get that version of yourself back. You try to recreate those feelings, those moments, but something always feels different. Because deep down, you know, you're not the same person anymore. Now you pause before trusting. You think twice before opening your heart. You analyze words, tones, and even silence. Not because you want to, but because you've learned what it feels like to lose yourself in someone else. And maybe that's what hurts the most. It's not just losing them, it's losing the version of you that didn't know pain this deeply. The version of you that believed love would stay, that things wouldn't fall apart so easily. But here's the truth, that version of you isn't gone. It's just hidden beneath the lessons, the pain, and the growth. You didn't lose yourself, you evolved. And maybe now, you're becoming someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who won't settle for less than they deserve. Sometimes, it hits you out of nowhere. A random memory, a song, a small moment, and suddenly, you feel everything all over again. Not because you want to go back, but because a part of you is still connected to who you used to be in that time. You remember how effortless it all felt. How you didn't have to pretend, didn't have to hide parts of yourself. You were seen, or at least, you believed you were. And that belief gave you a kind of peace that's hard to explain. Now things feel different. Even when you're surrounded by people, there's a quiet emptiness inside. Not loud, not dramatic, just there. A reminder that something has changed within you. But maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe that feeling is there to remind you how deeply you can feel, how genuinely you can love. It's proof that your heart is still alive, just more aware now, more careful, more awake. There was a time when everything felt right. Not perfect, but peaceful. You had someone who made ordinary moments feel special. Late night talks, random laughter, small things that somehow meant everything. And in those moments, you weren't trying to be someone else, you were just you. You didn't realize it back then, but you were slowly building a version of yourself around that connection. A softer version. A happier one. Someone who believed that maybe, just maybe, this would last. But then, things started changing. The same conversations became shorter. The same presence started feeling distant. And the person who once felt like home, slowly started feeling unfamiliar. And one day, it happened. They walked away, not with anger, not with drama, just with silence. And in that silence, you finally understood something powerful. It wasn't about them leaving you, it was about you outgrowing the version of yourself that existed only when they were around. That moment hurt, yes. But it also taught you the greatest lesson: people enter your life to reflect parts of you, not to stay forever. And when they leave, it's your soul saying, grow. Evolve. Become more than you were yesterday. Letting go doesn't happen in one moment. It's not a single decision, it's a process. A slow, quiet detachment where every day, you feel a little less connected than before. Not because you stopped caring instantly, but because your heart got tired of holding on. You start accepting things you once resisted. The silence, the distance, the absence. At first, it feels heavy, like you're forcing yourself to breathe in a space that no longer feels the same. But with time, that heaviness begins to shift. You begin to understand that not everything is meant to stay. Some people come into your life just to change you, to show you parts of yourself you never knew existed. And once their role is complete, they leave. It hurts, yes. But there's also a quiet strength in realizing that you survived something that once felt impossible to live without. That you're still here, still growing, still becoming. And maybe letting go isn't about forgetting them, maybe it's about choosing yourself, again and again, until one day, it doesn't hurt the same anymore. At some point, you stop asking why. Not because you found all the answers, but because you finally understand that not every question needs one. Some things end without closure, and you learn to make peace with that silence. You start noticing a shift within yourself. The things that once broke you don't hit the same anymore. Not because you stopped feeling, but because you've learned how to hold your emotions without letting them control you. There's a quiet strength growing inside you now. The kind that doesn't need validation, doesn't chase, doesn't beg to be understood. You begin to realize that your peace is more important than holding on to something that was slowly breaking you. And maybe this is what growth really looks like. It's not loud, not visible to everyone, but deep inside, you're changing. You're becoming someone who chooses self-respect over attachment, clarity over confusion, and inner peace over temporary emotions. You didn't just go through pain, you grew through it. And that changes everything. There comes a moment when you realize, it wasn't just about losing them. It was about outgrowing a version of your life that no longer fits who you're becoming. And that realization hits differently. You start seeing things more clearly now. The things you once ignored, the signs you once overlooked, the feelings you once tried to suppress. It all makes sense now, just a little too late. But maybe it was meant to happen this way. Because if everything had stayed the same, you would have never changed. You would have never discovered your strength, your boundaries, your worth. And now, you're not the same person who once begged for things to work. You're someone who understands that not everything meant for you will stay, and not everything that leaves is a loss. Some endings are actually upgrades in disguise. You didn't just lose them, you found yourself on a deeper level. And that's something no one can take away from you. There was a time when you believed someone would stay forever. You invested your heart fully, trusted completely, and let them see every part of you. Every laugh, every tear, every secret, you shared it all. But slowly, the distance grew. Conversations became shorter, calls less frequent, and the laughter that once felt endless, started fading. You tried holding on, thinking things would return to how they were. And then one day, it happened. They walked away, not with anger, not with drama, just with silence. And in that silence, you finally understood something powerful. It wasn't about them leaving you, it was about you outgrowing the version of yourself that existed only when they were around. That moment hurt, yes. But it also taught you the greatest lesson: people enter your life to reflect parts of you, not to stay forever. And when they leave, it's your soul saying, grow. Evolve. Become more than you were yesterday. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It's a quiet, steady process that sneaks in when you least expect it. Some days, you feel the pain fade a little. Other days, it comes back, reminding you that growth is not linear. You begin to notice small victories, smiling without guilt, laughing without hesitation, enjoying your own company. These tiny moments start to build a stronger, calmer version of yourself. And slowly, you realize that healing isn't about forgetting them. It's about forgiving yourself for holding on too long, and forgiving life for teaching lessons in its own way. It's about choosing yourself every single day. Now, you're standing at a new threshold. You've carried the lessons, the pain, and the growth within you. And suddenly, the world feels a little wider, a little brighter. You don't need them to complete you anymore. You've learned that your peace, your joy, and your energy come from within, not from someone else. And maybe the most beautiful thing is this: endings aren't really endings. They're beginnings. Beginnings of a stronger, wiser, and more awakened you.